I'm back with another video. To all of my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, for sharing my videos. I appreciate your support. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Again, my name is Fearfully Made, and on this channel we talk about Yah's laws, statutes, commandments. We do some Bible study, and I also share some words of encouragement in the hopes that it may uplift someone. So if you're interested in joining my YouTube family, definitely hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell if you would like notification on future uploads. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I just got through crying. And I'm gonna tell you why in a second, okay? I know I'm looking a little crunchy right now. Please forgive me. I just woke up from a nap. It was probably one of the scariest dreams I've ever had in my life. Like, okay, so today is the Sabbath for me. And so today I've just been listening to the Most High, like just talk to me about everything. Like when I woke up this morning, he led me to Psalms 119, basically telling me to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments diligently, you know what I'm saying, I'm a little sick right now, you guys, so if I sound stuffy, please forgive me. But he was telling me to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments diligently. And he was also just talking to me about like fasting and, making sure that, I talking to me more about like killing the flesh, you know what I'm saying? And, just not making like, my belly a god and stuff like that. We were just talking and, or I was just listening to him talk to me really. And, so I ended up taking a nap, and I can't even. And if I start crying while I'm like explaining this, please forgive me because this is so devastating, like the dream that I had, you know. So in this dream, oh my Lord, I don't even know if I can do this video right now. In this dream, I was looking out my window. The first part of the dream was I was driving in a car, right? And it was like at night or something like that. And, and there was like some kids following me. I don't know if they were kids or like whoever they were, college students, but they were following me behind me in my car. And, please try to hear me out while I'm sick because my nose is stuffy, so I'm sorry. But these kids were following me in my car, just like trying to poke at me, just kind of trying to poke at me. And I was ignoring them, and I just like kept driving my car and just ignoring them, right? And so I get back to my place, my kids were with me, and I start looking out the window. I'm sorry, I have a cold, guys. Please forgive me. I started looking out the window of that car, or of my apartment, and there was like a car pulling out from behind, like from his parking spot. But as he was pulling out, he was just reckless. He was very reckless. He didn't care what car he was hitting on his way out of his parking spot. He just kept hitting everybody. I was like, okay, that's unusual. You know what I'm saying? Usually when we pull out of our parking spot, we make sure we're not hitting anybody. We're careful. But he just like pulled out and didn't care. And then like he drove under another, like some big old 4x4 truck with big wheels. He like drove underneath that car. And then he stopped, and then he got out the car and started fighting with the other driver or whatever. I was like, okay. And so as I was breaking down this dream, I just kept, hearing like reckless lawlessness, right? Lawlessness. It was like a lot, like this place was lawless. No care. There was no government. There was no rule. There was no order. No, everyone was fearless. Everyone was fearlessly being wicked, fearlessly being themselves, like their evil, wicked self. They did not care about nothing, right? And so I'm like, I don't know what type of world we living in this dream, but I'm telling you, in this dream, nobody cared about nothing, okay? And all I wanted to do was keep my babies at home and keep them safe. And so I'm home with my kids, and next thing you know, we're hearing like some alarm go off or something happened in the hallway to where I had to leave my apartment, and I'm like going to see what's wrong with I'm trying to go figure out what's going on, like what's going on in the hallway or whatever. So I leave my apartment to go see what's happening, and then some really creepy dude, you know what I'm saying? Some really, oh my goodness, I got like something in my nail. Some really, really creepy dude. He like cracks open his door and says, "Hey, I want to come talk to you. I want to come talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, bro. So what's up?" And then like he just, and he's talking to me about what's happening down the hall. He's like, "Yeah, those people, and such and such." But as he starts to talk to me, I realize something. Like this man had a whole bunch of little boys in his apartment. The man that I was talking to he was Caucasian, and he had bright blue eyes, and he had dirty blonde hair, right? And as he was talking to me, I noticed that he didn't have any clothes on, right? And as he was talking to me, he started kind of like opening up his apartment door just a little bit more because I felt like he was starting to get comfortable. And then I noticed that all the boys in his apartment like didn't have no clothes on. They were all like, I'm talking about butt naked. And all the little boys, I was thinking for a second, like maybe, I'm like, maybe they should get out of the shower or something like that. Because I know sometimes, like, when my kids get out of the shower, my 4-year-old will probably just, like, run, like, I need a towel, like, whatever. But it was, like, a group of boys naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these boys they didn't even look like his kids. They were all different backgrounds. Like, some of them were, like from India, or, like, Hispanic children. A majority of the children were black boys. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then I was just like, why is this man standing here butt naked with all these black boys like this? You know what I'm saying? And then me and another neighbor started talking about it. And I'm like, yo, like, what's up with that? You know? And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I just keep my kids away from him. And every time I come home, I just make sure I keep my kids away from him. I'm like, yo, like, when did he move here? Because I never saw this man before, So I went back to my apartment, and I was like, dude, don't go in the hallway no more. Like, I just remember checking my kids. Like, y'all better not go in that hallway. Don't even leave this place. You know what I'm saying? Without me. Don't open this door. Don't unlock it. No nothing. Right? And this part of the dream was like where I just kind of woke up crying. Like, so oh Lord Jesus. So when I think it was like the next day that went by, right? And like there's like a lady and her kid out in the hallway, right? And like the man, for some weird reason, his car, it was like not a blue, but it was like a lime green Mustang, right? And it was like this man was in the back seat, like having intercourse with one of those Hispanic little boys that was in his apartment. And it was like he was so open. Like it was like this place was so lawless that they didn't even have to hide their perversion. You know what I'm saying? And the lady and her son is just in the hallway, like, look at this. Like, nobody's doing anything about this. You know what I'm saying? And there was like, I just remember him being like the only man in this dream. You know what I mean? Like, there was not a lot of men around us. All I can remember is like this man being like the only man in the dream, you know? And it was just like, who could have stopped him? We couldn't. It was me and another woman. Like, this man was looking at us like, what are you guys going to do about it? What are you guys going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? And I just remember feeling like I wanted to really hurt this man. And I just like remembered like just crying and screaming, like asking, like telling him he needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? And after that part, I just woke up from the dream, you know? And like, I feel like today's society, they did everything on purpose to separate the man from the woman. Like, that's the reason why all these women out here, like, we get perks for being single mothers. Like, we get incentives for being single moms. Because the whole purpose is to divide and conquer the family. So that when stuff does hit the fan, it's going to be a whole bunch of women with children by themselves, vulnerable, because there's no man to protect that woman and that child, or that woman and those children, right? And that was, I feel like this whole thing was premeditated. It's to keep the man down, to keep the man out of the picture. It makes a lot of sense because when my son's dad and I first went to Miami, I was able to get a job before he did, and it was so hard for him to find a job because nobody would hire. You know what I'm saying? This was like some years ago. I ended up like asking my supervisor, I'm like, hey, can you get him a job here with me? Because nobody else is hiring him. It's so weird. And so I ended up having him get a job with me so that we can both have money coming in at the same time. And we were also saving, looking for our own place. Long story short, living down there, just one thing he told me that he noticed when he was down there was like the women are always like praised. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to do like completely, you know, wipe the men out of here. They're trying to get rid of the men because they know that as soon as they remove all of our men, like, we're going to be vulnerable and there's not going to be any fight back. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not going to be any, you know, there's not going to be too much of a fight. They can easily have access to us, our spoil, our children, you know what I'm saying, without a fight. But they know if we have a man in the house, they know that it's a possibility that they can lose their life trying. You know what I'm saying? So it just dawned on me like, wow, this system is really set up so that's why it's so easy for us women to get these beautiful, glamorous kind of jobs, you know, and the man can't. It's hard. You rarely ever see a black man behind a desk. You know what I'm saying? But all these women can easily get these desk jobs. Or like, you know, it's like they're trying to lift up the women over our men, like so that we would get high and mighty and boastful and act like we don't need our man. They're trying to gas up the women, you know what I'm saying, so that we can start to look down on our own men. So that when this stuff does start to happen, you know what I'm saying, like we would have already by then pushed our husbands out of the house, you know what I'm saying, and that we would have already pushed our covering and our protection so far away from us to the point where we would have nobody to call upon if we needed help or if we needed someone to protect us or our children. That's the dream that the Most High showed me, and I swear, like, it was crazy. It was crazy. I literally just woke up from this dream crying. And so I guess the reason why I wanted to share this dream with you guys is because I wanted you guys to know that it's really, really important that you stay as close to God as possible. Even if you look crazy doing it, it don't matter what people talking about, because when you have a relationship with the Most High, God shows you things before it starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Most High will show you what's going to happen before it starts to happen. We're about to go into a land of lawlessness. And this place is about to be lawless and desolate. There's going to be a famine in the land. A lot of people are going to be hungry. It's going to be a lot of hungry children. You know what I'm saying? The Most High just be showing me all this stuff, y'all. It sucks because there's so many people that don't know. They don't know that all this stuff is about to happen to them. You know, especially to the kids, all these weird people that like, you know, these weird men that like kids, like they're about to pop out of the woodwork. You know, just being openly perverse with children and knowing that there's nothing that anyone can do about it. But that's the reason why I'm saying just pray over your kids. Pray that your children are protected more than anything. Stock up on food as much as you can, because that's another message that I keep receiving this week. Stock up on food because we're going into a season of drought right now. And also just, you know, the Most High was telling me earlier today, he's like, you know, I need you to keep my statutes and my commandments diligently. You know, he was talking to me through Psalms 119. So if you guys want to read it, go to Psalms 119 and see what the Most High was saying to me this morning when I woke up. Yeah, it's about to be crazy, y'all. So, and I usually don't. This was too much for me. I don't even like crying on video and stuff like that, but I just wanted to get this message out here while it was heavy on my heart, because I literally just woke up from a nap on this, like, for real. And I'm kind of sick today, so I haven't really been posting for the past couple of days because of that. But I want you guys to, like, really take heed to this warning. Like, ladies, don't push these men away, because that's your covering. Like, you need your husband. You need your husband. You need your, like, whoever you can work things out with, your baby's dad or whatever. Don't let society don't help society push you away from these men. You know, don't let society, like, gas you up. Like, oh, you got a job, you got a business, like, you don't need no man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because when stuff, like, don't trust in this world. Like, when stuff hits the fan, you gonna wish that you had a husband with you to fight somebody off of you and them kids. Don't let you being a boss, you know what I'm saying? Don't let you being a boss or, you know, successful in any type of way gas your head up to the point where you run off the man that's supposed to help you and them babies. If you know you have a man that wants to help you and those kids and you just feeling bitter, and so you don't want to let him see the kids, like, don't do that. Let him be around them children so that he can protect those babies, you know. Because it's going to be a time where we really, 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 really are going to need our men more than ever. I was, like, honestly a little scared to do this video because I was in fear of being judged. But people talk trash about me anyway, so why not just give them more information? I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this video. But this is a message that you guys need to hear. You guys need to hear this message. For real, like, you can't keep letting society gas you up with this, you know, oh, I don't need no man. I'm gonna just go get me some child care, and I'm gonna go get me a job, and I can take care of my own kids. Okay, well, that was their goal. Their goal was to try to separate you from the man so that they can get you by yourself. It's called divide and conquer. That's a wicked war tactic that they do. And they're doing it on their own people here in the States, to divide and conquer, so that once we've been divided from our husbands, they want to conquer the woman and the child. And they know it's not going to happen as long as there's a man in this house. It's not going to happen as long as you have your covering. So look, cling to your husbands, ladies. Don't let the world gas you up like you don't need your man because you're a boss. Like, don't do that because you need your husband. You can be a boss and still be submissive to your husband. You can own your own company or make a bunch of money and still, like, when your husband say, I need my dinner cooked or I need them dishes washed, just listen to your husband, because at the end of the day, that's who's going to be there to protect you and them babies. Humble yourself, ladies. Don't let the world give you everything that you want and be like, I don't need no man. Like, okay, because when all of this lawlessness hits the fan and you need somebody that's going to hunt for you, that's going to, fish or whatever, cook, start the firewood, when everything just really starts to hit the fan, like, you're going to really be like, man, this would be easier, you know what I'm saying, if I had a husband with me. But when the world had order, and you was the boss and you ain't need no man, like, now you're going to be like, damn, I really wish I was really humble, So that's the message that the Most High gave to me. And that's the dream that he also gave to me. So take it to the Lord in prayer, okay? And don't let whatever you do, don't let these people gas you up to the point where you feel like you don't need a man, because you do. You need a husband. And get out of your pride, get that out of your mind. And even when you get a husband and you find yourself to already be a successful woman, humble yourself in the sight of your God and in the sight of your husband. Don't think that just because you got this and that, you're better than your man. Like, no, like, if you can be a billionaire, but look, let me tell you something. I was telling somebody this the other day, I could be a billionaire if my husband told me to stop and cook him something. I'm gonna drop all of my diamonds and my mimosas to go cook my husband something, because that's my covering. You know what I'm saying? So swallow your pride with these men, ladies, because that's your covering and that's your protection here in the earth realm, okay? I love you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. God willing. Peace.